know many of you have heard about that case where a court ruled that Bitcoin is a currency. I will show you how the system works so you can make sure you don't miss any benefits that are available at each step. Rewards from staking or airdrop are new units with their own start dates. They don't get the benefit of the original coin 12-month clock. Now, here's one a lot of people don't think about. Yes, you can hold crypto inside a family trust. Crypto profits are great until tax season. One day you are celebrating a juicy 50% gain on Ethereum. The next, you are staring at 47% tax rate. Did you know you can legally pay a lot less tax than your mate does, even with the same profits? Today, I will walk you step by step through the tax strategies and how to layer them up to minimize your capital gains. These are the exact strategies accountants use with their top clients. So grab a drink because this one's worth it. Let's set the stage. Crypto is a CGT asset in Australia. I know many of you have heard about that case where a court ruled that Bitcoin is a currency. But that decision doesn't set a binding precedent. So for tax purposes, crypto, including Bitcoin, is still subject to CGT. That means it is taxed like property, not like cash. You trigger tax when you sell crypto for Australian dollars, swap Bitcoins for Solana, spend crypto on real-world purchases, and gift it to a family member, or in some DeFi cases. Tax happens when you swap into a derivative token or unwrap something on-chain. So even if you never cash out to fiat, swaps and trade can still be taxable. That's the part catches people out. You might think, I never sold. I just swapped into another coin. Sorry, that's still a CGT event. Okay, now please let me go a little bit nerdy on this because it will benefit you greatly. As all of you investors must be great with logic and numbers, I will show you how the system works so you can make sure you don't miss any benefits that are available at each step. Don't worry, I will make sure it is painless. So first, to calculate capital gain, it is proceeds less cost base, but you don't pay tax on capital gain. You pay tax on net capital gain. And Section 102-5 of the 97 Act dictates the formula to calculate net capital gain. It is basically a funnel. So in step 1, you figure out capital gain by taking proceeds less cost base, and then you sum up all your capital gain during the year. In step 2, you sum up all your capital loss and you can take it off your capital gain. You can also use the losses from prior year to reduce the current year gain. In step 3, apply the CGT discount if you qualify for it. In step 4, what's left is your net capital gain that you pay tax on. The art of tax planning is making sure what comes out of the bottom of the funnel is as small as possible. So as you can see, the Section 102-5 showing you all the steps and all the hints on how you can reduce your capital gain. So in step 1, you can see proceed less cost base, anything that's taking your capital gain down, give it a discount or a deduction, that is your tips there. So strategy number 1 will be how to boost up your cost base. So your cost base is your shield. If you underreported it, you are just giving the ATO free money. What's in cost base though? So the actual price you pay for the crypto, the exchange fees, spreads and gas, and the cost to preserve or defend the ownership of your crypto. So this including things like professional wallet recovery fees, data retrieval cost if a hard drive fails, or legal expenses to secure your right over the assets. Now, here's the pro tip. You can choose the parcel with a higher cost base to reduce your gain when you sell. Selling the coins you bought at 4,500 instead of the ones you got at 3,000 reduces your gain. You will need clear records for this, but it is super important. Strategy number 2 is tax losses. Losses aren't fun, but they can be useful. A capital loss can offset capital gains. You can offset capital losses generated from trading, from selling your property, or losses on your crypto that got stolen. A lot of you have heard about tax loss harvesting. So selling loser coins near June to collect the losses to reduce taxable gains. Then you can buy it back shortly if you want to continue to hold it. But here's the catch. Don't get too cheeky with watch sales. If you sell it at a loss on June 29 and then you buy it back on the July 2nd just to lock in the loss, the ATO can strike it out. Why? Because there's no real change in economic ownership. To be safe, either leave a decent gap before the re-entry or genuinely switch into a different asset with a different profile. Otherwise, the ATO may come for you. So check out this link on watch sales that the ATO put on their website and the tax ruling 2008-1 where they notify the area of watch sales that they are after. Strategy number 3 is the easiest 50% discount you can ever get. Now, this is one holders brag about. If you hold a crypto asset for at least 12 months before selling, you get a 50% CGT discount. Again, having good record is important as you can select the parcel that benefit you the most. Important detail, rewards from staking or airdrop are new units with their own start dates. They don't get the benefit of the original coin 12-month clock. Strategy number 4 is timing your disposal. So it means your income tax bracket matters. Remember, your net capital gain just gets stacked on top of your other income. That means timing make or break your tax bill. Let's say you are on a 150k salary, selling crypto for a 40,000 gain this year could shove you into a 47% bracket. But if you are planning a career break or going part-time next year, selling then could mean a much lower tax rate. Another trick is split sales across 2 financial years. So selling half your coins in June and half in July, spread the tax load. So same gain but across 2 return. So it is much kinder on your brackets. It isn't about dodging tax, it's about smoothing out the tax bills. Strategy number 5 is your super contributions. Let's say you made a 100k crypto gain. If you put 30,000 in super as a concessional contribution, you can claim a deduction on your return, so your taxable income dropped by that amount. At the top tax rate, that could save you $9,000 in tax. Your super fund, which is usually much less than your marginal tax rate. A bonus, if your super balance is under 500,000, you can use catch-up concessional contributions from the past 5 years, giving you an even bigger buffer. So if you haven't contributed to your superannuation fund for the last 5 years, your cap is 140.5k. It is a smart way to invest part of your gains into retirement with a tax break now. Strategy number 6 is using trust. Now, here's one a lot of people don't think about. Yes, you can hold crypto inside a family trust. From there, the trust can get the 50% general discount, and the trust can also stream capital gains to multiple beneficiaries, so they only pay tax at their marginal tax rate. So if your spouse is at a lower tax bracket, you can stream part of the gain to them. Then overall, your household pay a lot less tax. The key is making sure the trust deed actually allows digital assets, and that the wallets or exchange accounts are opened in the trustee's name, not in your personal one. Be careful, this one is important. You must get the 30 June trustee resolutions correct. The trust can get taxed at 47% on any income left in the trust if you don't distribute them out. So if you want to use this powerful tool, get an accountant to set it up correctly and run it properly. If you find this video is helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Hannah, the tax advisor you can trust. Thank you for watching and see you next time.